Have you been feeling an impending change in your life? Like you feel like something is about to happen, but you don't know exactly what. You know that change is underway. You know that there are new horizons making themselves known to you that aren't too far off in the distance, and you need to prepare for these new grounds, and yet you don't know exactly how or why. Well, my friends, welcome to the collective energy. This week we have a new moon in Leo, as well as a Lion's Gate portal happening on the same day. We have all been transitioning and transforming into becoming more and more the most authentic version of ourselves. And this video is created with the intention to help you align with this energy, as well as gain clarity on your life path. Hola amigos y amigas, you are now with Jocelyn, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so grateful you're here, and you already know all the goodness that we're going to be getting into in this video. And if you are new here, welcome. I'm so grateful that you aligned to one of my videos and to my channel. I hope that you end up loving this video so much that you decide to click subscribe and join this growing community, making sure that you don't miss out on any of my weekly videos, energy readings, inspiring interviews, vlogs, spiritual development, all of that good stuff. In this video, we are going to be getting into not one, not two, three, four, five, six, seven, but 8 journal prompts for this upcoming new moon in Leo and Lion's Gate portal that is taking place on the same day, August 8th, 2021. Now, before we get into these 8 awesome journal prompts that are going to align us with the energies of this week, of the new moon, of the portal, I do want to share that I am going to be trying something new this time around. Not necessarily with this video, but with the overall experience of these journal prompts. I thought that it would be really cool if I jumped on live here on YouTube, here on my channel, on the day of the new moon and journaled these prompts with you all. Maybe not all of them, maybe just a few of them. But if that is something that interests you all, if you would like to journal live with me here on my channel, on the evening of the new moon or the full moon, whatever it is that is going on, then let me know in the comments. Let me know if that is something that you would like me to try this week. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do it and see how it goes. And I'm thinking maybe like around 6:37 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sunday, August 8th. So let me know in the comments below if that's something that you are interested in. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into these 8 journal prompts and learn more about these energies. In what ways have I recently found myself returning home to myself and my passions? We have all been feeling a lot of transformation, a lot of transitioning, and I've mentioned this before, but what's really taking place is that we are becoming more and more the most authentic version of ourselves. In previous full and new moon prompts, I've encouraged you to really take note of what this newfound sense of self is. Who are you becoming? What have you been learning about yourself? What do you no longer recognize about yourself? And in this prompt, it really is no different, but I really want us to acknowledge all the ways in which we have found ourselves becoming more and more ourselves and returning to passions that we may have left behind for a while. You know, for myself, for example, I found myself doing a lot of the things that I used to do as a child, doing a lot of things that I was always really passionate about when I was like a teen and what really interested me. And I feel like all of those things really are a reflection of who I truly am and what is uniquely me. And I've been making sure to take note of all these ways that I found myself really becoming more authentically, originally me. And so I'm going to encourage you to do the same with this prompt. In what ways have you recently noticed that you've been kind of going back to your roots and going back to passions that you may have left behind but feel called to pick back up? What unique offerings do I have to gift to the world? And I'm not wording this prompt in a way where it's like, what offerings do I have to gift? It's not worded in the way of like, you have to gift your offerings to the world. It's more so, what unique offerings do you have? What unique offerings have you discovered that you have and that you can offer, that you can gift to the world? And I used the word gift instead of give because what makes you uniquely you, what makes you different, really is a gift to the world. It is what you uniquely have to offer. And as we are all really in a time where we're being called back to ourselves, these are things that we are discovering. We are discovering what makes us uniquely us. We are discovering what makes us different, but in all the best ways. Whereas maybe in the past we have seen our differences and our uniqueness as what has held us back. Now we are really taking note of the fact that what makes us uniquely us, what makes us different, is what connects us to our purpose, what keeps us aligned to our divine path. And I want us to hold space for that. I want us to hold space for our uniqueness. And that's what this prompt is for. And I encourage all of you to get into this prompt because that is really the energy that we're in right now, is being called back to ourselves, taking note of our uniqueness, what makes us different, what makes us really an individual in the collective, and realizing that that's our power. Where in my life have I compromised, held back, and resisted, and I'm going to no longer? As much as we are to focus on our desires and really get specific and clear on them, it is just as important for us to get specific and clear on what we're no longer accepting, what we're no longer resonating with, what we're no longer putting up with, and really recognizing just how important that is for us to continue on this higher path of ascension, of stepping into a new cycle, of going into a new timeline. And I think a lot of us are realizing where we have held ourselves back, in what ways we have been compromising in our relationships, professionally, personally, with ourselves, with our boundaries, all of that, and how we've been resisting, whether that's resisting change or resisting an ending or resisting really looking at the truth and confronting the truth. And so this is a prompt that really keeps it real with you. This is a prompt that is encouraging you to keep it real with yourself. And this is honestly a really important prompt. So I hope that for those of you who are going to pick this prompt as one of the prompts that you are going to journal. Keep it real with yourself, you know, be honest with yourself. Where have you been compromising? Where have you been holding back? Where have you been resisting? And really take pride in the fact that you're no longer doing that. Like the path that you're choosing to walk on, this new cycle that you are so willingly stepping into, you're no longer doing that. And affirm that in your journaling too. Affirm that, yes, I used to do this, I used to compromise this is where I held myself back, but I'm no longer doing that. What values and boundaries honor the life I'm intentionally creating for myself? And I don't know if you all have noticed this in my journal prompt videos, but just as I am intentional with the wording and the creation of these prompts and aligning them with the energies that we're in, but I'm also very intentional about the order in which I share these prompts with you all. And the order of these 8 prompts is like one of my favorites that I've ever done. And I just wanted to share that with you because it progresses really so beautifully. And this specific prompt ties back to what we were just talking about. You know, it's kind of, piggybacks. Anyways, in the last prompt, we were looking at, you know, where we've held ourselves back, where we've restricted ourselves, where we've compromised, and acknowledging, affirming that we're no longer doing that, you know, honestly, for the sake of this life that we're creating for ourselves. And in this prompt, we are looking at observing, holding space for, acknowledging the values and boundaries that are respecting that life. Where we have compromised, then we are no longer doing because of these values that I now have, because of these boundaries that I now have. And so they really complement each other. If you end up choosing the last prompt, I recommend that you also do this prompt after it, just so it can like really give you that full circle perspective of what you're no longer doing and what you're now building your intentional life on. So I did choose the word honor. I feel like that's the key word in this prompt because y'all, that is the timeline that we are on now. That is what we are resonating with now. We are resonating with honoring ourselves. That is who we are now. We are honoring ourselves. We are honoring our boundaries. We are honoring our values. We are honoring what we deserve, our desires, what it is that we need to do to get to where we want to go. And this is a really important prompt, y'all. Like, it's really important that we, as we continue to evolve and change and transform into newfound versions of ourselves, that we acknowledge how our values and boundaries shift along with the shifts that are taking place in our lives, that are taking place internally and externally. So, y'all, what values and boundaries are honoring this life that you're intentionally creating for yourself? And this is a great prompt to look back on constantly. You know, whenever you find yourself like in a certain time in your, you know, in your path where you need to remind yourself like, hey, you know, these are your boundaries, these are your values, you know, does this decision, does this action, does this experience honor what you wrote down? So this is a great one, y'all. What kind of life do I know I deserve? I feel like if you ended up journaling the last 2 prompts, it'll be easier to approach and answer this prompt, because with the awareness of where you're no longer compromising and resisting and holding back, as well as what values and boundaries you're honoring and honor the life you're creating, you know what life you deserve. You know, those are in correlation to the life that you deserve and the life that you are creating for yourself and envision for yourself. And if you hear this prompt and you are currently struggling with self-love and self-worth, which don't be ashamed of, because I feel like we all experience that and grow through those kinds of seasons in our lives. So if you hear this prompt, you know, what kind of life do I know I deserve? And you say to yourself, I don't really know what life I deserve. Like, I don't really know. Then I'm going to encourage you to answer this prompt as like, what life do you think do you deserve? You know, if you feel called to do this prompt but don't really know how to answer what you know, like, what life do you think you deserve? Write it down, you know, honestly, write it down and then read it and see how you feel. If it makes you feel good, then you probably deserve what you wrote down. If it makes you feel icky or like not satisfied or fulfilled or just some kind of weird way, then that's something that you're gonna have to work on. You know by how it is that it makes you feel if you deserve better. Because I am a divine architect of my life, how would I describe the developments underway? I figured, I mean, you all know, for those who have been watching my journal prompt videos, you know that I like to incorporate a fun prompt here or two that really calls you to be imaginative. And I figured this would be a fun way to really describe the life that we are creating for ourselves, that we are intentionally creating for ourselves. And I figured, you know, if we put ourselves in the shoes of an architect, and I affirmed in the prompt that we are the divine architects of our lives. You know, we co-create, we co-architect with the universe. And I figured it would be fun for us to really kind of envision ourselves as an architect who like has a meeting and they have to, you know, explain and discuss and describe what developments are underway. And, you know, I really just want you to have fun with this one. I didn't want to just do a basic prompt where it's like, you know, what life are you creating for yourself? But like, you know, because you are the divine architect of your life, describe the developments that are underway. And as always, be as detailed and specific as possible. Use adjectives, use $5 words, all of that good stuff. What breakdowns am I grateful for? And what breakthroughs am I welcoming? I really wanted to do a prompt where we are calling something in because it's a new moon, it's a Lionsgate portal, and I also just always want to keep it real in these prompts, right? It's not always just like, what are we manifesting? What do we deserve? What are we calling in? But like, no, y'all, like we're all still going through breakdowns here and there and going through these shifts and adjusting and, you know, figuring out. And this prompt, I feel like, has that nice balance of, you know, the duality of both the breakdown and the breakthrough. And I feel, I don't know if it was in the last full moon journal prompt video or in the last new moon journal prompt video where I did talk about breakdowns and breakthroughs as well, but I wanted to bring that theme back because it's a theme that's still very much so with us, you know, a lot of breakdowns taking place, a lot of breakthroughs taking place. And this new moon in Leo and this Lionsgate portal definitely has breakthrough energy. And so I wanted to not only, you know, express gratitude for the breakdowns and what we've learned from them and, you know, acknowledge them as, you know, catapults for growth, but, you know, take advantage of this energy that we have amongst us and use it to call in the breakthroughs that we are ready for. Why am I ready for a new cycle in my life? Y'all, I know that I'm not the only one who has been feeling ready. I'm ready for the changes. I bring them on. I'm ready for this new cycle. I've been prepping for it. I've been healing. I've been confronting myself. I've been doing all these things in preparation. I still don't know exactly what's going on or all the details, and I don't have it all figured out, but I do know that I am ready. I am ready for clarity. I am ready for progression and ascension and all of that good stuff. And again, I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. And if there are any of you who just listened to that and were like, man, like, I feel like I haven't really been, confronting myself. I haven't really been healing. Please, okay? This is not the space where we are hard on ourselves, okay? In this channel, we give ourselves grace and we practice non-judgment. So don't go being hard on yourself. Use that awareness to do what you need to do, to shift what you need to shift, to change what you need to change. But again, we are really taking advantage and really intentionally aligning with this new moon in Leo energy, this Lionsgate portal energy. And I had to create a simple, direct prompt where it's like, this is why I'm ready. This is why I'm ready for a new cycle. Not only with this prompt, but really all the prompts. I feel like every time we answer one of the prompts, like it's an affirmation, when we write something down, it's an affirmation. So think of this prompt and all the other prompts too as like affirmations. What you write down, you're affirming. I'm affirming that I'm no longer accepting this. I'm affirming that I'm calling this in. I'm affirming that these are my values and boundaries. I'm affirming that I'm ready for this new cycle. And that is what is being gifted to us ultimately with this new moon and this Lionsgate portal is a new cycle. So I wanted to honor that. I wanted to respect that. I wanted to shed a light on that, hold space for that, and get us to really sit down and affirm that we are ready. And why? And that, my friends, are the 8 journal prompts for this upcoming Leo new moon and Lionsgate portal on August 8th. And I hope that you all resonated with at least one of these journal prompts. I hope that you enjoyed them all. I hope you gained a deeper understanding of self and of energy and gained a higher awareness and clarity on what energies are going on. And I hope that those of you, again, who are not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my weekly videos. And again, y'all, if you are interested in having me journal with you live, and we can go through these prompts together and journal together on the evening of the new moon and full moons to come, then let me know in the comments below. And I'd also love to know which prompts you end up resonating with and which ones call to you and which ones you end up journaling. So as always, y'all, so much gratitude from me to you. Thank you so much for bringing me into your present moment. And yeah, let's have a absolutely blessed new moon, Lionsgate portal. And remember that we are worthy of our deepest desires and that we need not to fear change, because change is a symbol of growth, and what isn't growing is dead, and we definitely aren't dead. We're very much so alive. So let's keep growing, y'all. I will see you in my next video. Bye, y'all.